And there I am, standing in the back. Do the math. That was the year I was born. Natick's first undefeated football team, state Class C champions, a record of 9-0. Midland League champions, scored over 240 points against Clinton, Milford, Wellesley, Needham, Marlborough, Maynard, Norwood, Hudson, and Framingham, giving up only 40. And I want to name all of the members of the 1949 Natick High School football team. Wallace Montgomery, Joseph Kane, Scott Hendren, Joseph White, Fred Brenneman, Robert Goodall, Richard Rock, Robert Cochran, Theodore Piers, Charlie Stickup, John Christofoli, William Linane, Richard Zanaboni, Pandy Tatuni, Albert Troya, Robert Montagna, John Indelicato, Don Barber, Hanson Hedrig, Joseph Rock, Philip Russell, John Quilty, Sam Bassett, Roland Taylor, Charles Slamman, D. Matthews, Walter Powell, Malcolm Carey, William Thomas, William Higgins, Richard Green, Ronald Spinazzola, David Porter, R. Woods, William Seeley, Fred Byers, William Effen, Thomas Curley, Barry Higgins, Richard Hubbard, Alfred Nicicioni, George Finley, Morris Woodsum, George Wardwell, David Murphy, John Sheehan, D. LePage, William Wright, Daniel Bach, P. Lane, William Wilson, Robert Cashman, Jay Cadlick, and Don Grady. On behalf of the entire team, accepting tonight, Joe Kane, co-captain. Anybody from the team, come on up. Joe is accepting, but if you are here from the team of 1949, please come on up. You guys look great. Wow. Yeah, come on up. Wait. There. Wow. These guys look great.
I'd like to say thank you to the committee for, and I was calling everybody and saying we're getting indicted. Sorry about that, but I just want to reflect on a few things that what high school was like when we were back there. We didn't have a football field to play on. We played all our home games up in Framingham. I don't know if a lot of people know about that. The football coach, Henry Ploss, had retired the year before. So we were kind of lost, really. But Jerry Slamman came up and said he would take it for a year or two. And we played 150% for Jerry Slamman. The biggest men on the team were Wally Montgomery and Charlie Sticker, who weighed 185 pounds. Dickie Rock, who was all scholastic, and Scott Heckendon, who went in the service for 20 years and came out a lieutenant colonel, were 182 pounds and 184 pounds. Joe White, who's here, and Bobby Goodall were the two guards, and they weighed 179 and 170 pounds. Freddie Brenneman, our center, and really an animal, he played linebacker, and I think I only made 10 tackles all year long. I was playing on his side. He got him way before I could get up there. We also had Teddy Pierce and John Christofoli. Teddy was 175, and John weighed 155. And myself and Bobby Cochran weighed 170. There was 3 men that went on to college that year. One was Scott Heckendon, who went to Bucknell and went in the service and stayed in there for 20 years and came out a lieutenant colonel. 8 of the members of this team were in the service within a year because the Korean War broke out. Bobby Cochran was an end who scored the touchdown in the Framingham game finally. He always said he went on to catch the winning pass for Harvard against Yale. And then he became Pete Rozell's right-hand man in the NFL. I called him for tickets so my 2 sons and myself could get down and watch the Giants and the Redskins. And he said, "Sorry, Joe, you didn't throw the ball to me enough." Needless to say, we sat on the 50-yard line on the top second deck. There were some of the things on this team was there was no individuals. Everybody gave 150%. We knew we were up against it because we were kind of scared. When Jerry Slamman came over to me and said, "Joe, you know, I don't know a thing about offense." He says, "I've been the line coach here for so many years," he says, "and Mr. Ploss never involved me in the offense. He only involved me in the linemen and the defense." I said, "We won't have a problem with that. I've been watching pro football on the TV." Of course, we only had TV for about 3 years then.
Was I on it?
Sorry, I brought it up. I don't have the answer. So, over the years, we had been trying to win a state championship. We came real close. In our sophomore year, we won 8 games and tied 1. In the junior year, we lost 1 game and tied 1. And then in the senior year, we won 9 games and lost none, and we were the state champions. So for the members, the senior members of this team, we won 24 games, we lost 1, and we tied 2 games. That's in 3 years. Some of the statistics of the team were we only allowed 40 points, and we scored 240. The 40 points were scored against the JV teams, except Marlboro and Maynard. The backfield statistics for that year were John Christofoli, who had 21 carries, and we moved John into the backfield to take the ball in the Framingham game so he could score a touchdown, because John was a ferocious blocker. We had a what they called an open box formation, where there was 2 halfbacks that played 1 yard behind the tackles, and the 2 deep backs, which was Charlie Sticker and myself, who always got the ball. So John didn't get the ball that much, but we always gave it to him once in a while, and he had a 7.9 average every time he took the ball. Teddy Pierce, who's no longer with us, was also the blocking back, and Teddy took the ball for 20 times for 230 yards with a 11.5 average. Charlie Sticker, who took the ball 77, and but for a few injuries that he missed a couple of games, would have had much more, had 77 carries for 494 yards and a 6.4 average. And me, 140 carries. I was a hog, because I mean, we got other players that came in, but I didn't trust them. And I gained 850 yards with a 6.1 average. Almost every game we played, the JVs always got to play, because our motto was we had to get ahead as fast as we could, so we'd have the JVs in the game so that it would build on the following years. And they played all but 2 games that were real close, but they played every one of those games. in the Framingham game, when we went up there, we had, we were tied for first place with Taunton. And Taunton was playing Cambridge Latin, and we were playing Framingham. Taunton lost to Cambridge Latin 19-12, and Natick beat Framingham 39-0 to win the state championship. The coach of the Taunton team was Joe Hogue, and he came to Natick 2 years later after Jerry Slamman to become the coach here for many years. In the Framingham game, we were ahead 7-0. I'm sorry, before we scored the first touchdown, we went down to the 4-yard line, and I called a play, and Wally Montgomery said, "Joe, let's kid him and let's fool him. You throw me a little pass out in the flat." And I said, "Wally, you won the shoes last year. I got holes in mine. I'm scoring first." And then I ran in for 4 yards. Teddy Pearson caught a pass for 6 yards and ran in for 14. Charlie Sticker ran 18 yards for 21-0. Bob Cochran caught a 21-yard pass for 27-0. We moved John Christofoli back into the backfield and let him run in, and it was 33-0. Then Montgomery caught a 60-yard pass from me for 39-0, and that was the end of the seniors. All the rest of the JV teams went in at the end of the third period and played all of the fourth. In the Framingham game, we played 3 plays in the second half, and the JV team played the rest of the game. So in the end, I'd just like to say that we were started out pretty tough with no fields when we first got to Natick High School. And in the end, we wound up with the state championship and the first team to do something like that. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.